everyone, welcome back to Reviewers Hub. Today we'll be talking about Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. This is the fifth movie in the Monsterverse franchise. This movie has grossed $561 million worldwide on a $150 million budget. But is this movie as good as most people claimed? Let's find out now. Let's start with the plot of the movie. 3 years after defeating Mechagodzilla, Kong has established his new territory in the Hollow Earth and searches for more of his kind. On Earth's surface, Godzilla maintains order between humanity and giant monsters known as Titans. I feel this is an okay plot and it works for this movie's goal, but it could have been better in some areas. An example of this is the human characters, who could have been more important to the plot. Speaking of the human characters, let's talk about the returning characters from past films. The returning characters of the movie are Gia, played by Kaylee Hoddle, Dr. Ilian Andrews, played by Rebecca Hall, and Bernie Haynes, played by Brian Tyree Henry. Dr. Ilian Andrews and Bernie Hayes were not better or worse than their role in Godzilla vs. Kong, as they were both very serviceable, but they never really improved. The standout of these three characters is Gia, as throughout the story she reconnects with her culture and is actually integral to the plot with the monsters. A new side character the movie adds is Trapper, played by Dan Stevens, who brings the comedy of the film and is my favorite human character overall in the entire movie. Now it's time to get to the real main characters of the film, the monsters. This movie has more monster action than every other Monsterverse movie ever, with over an hour of screen time for them. This is great because it makes the monsters the true main characters of this movie. And no other character can be said to be more important to this movie than Kong, who is the true main character of this movie and the one who gets the most development. At the start of the movie, Kong is lonely and desperately trying to find others of his kind. However, by the end, he is happy because he finally finds a son, Suko, a baby Kong, who's the heart of this movie and someone for Kong to care for. Godzilla, on the other hand, is a bit underwhelming in this movie. He's cool, but all he does in this movie is fight monsters and evolve, and I feel they could have stretched out his role because almost every fight scene he gets lasts 30 seconds. The villains of this movie, Scar King and Shimo, are some of the best villains in the entire Monsterverse. Scar King is the only truly evil Monsterverse villain, as the other villains in the universe are more animalistic than evil, but Scar King has a truly evil personality that is shown in the movie. Shimo is more of a slave than actually evil because the Scar King controls them through a magic crystal. Even though I've been mostly positive about this movie, so far I have to say it does have flaws and is not perfect. An example of this is the overly goofy tone of the movie. I know some people like this tone of the movie, but I feel I like Godzilla and Kong stories that took themselves seriously, such as King of the Monsters. Another thing about this movie that's hit or miss is the CGI. Sometimes it looks amazing, and other time it looks iffy. The biggest problem I have with this movie is that Godzilla and Kong don't interact until the last 20 minutes of the film. This sucks because the posters and trailers advertised that the film was about Godzilla and Kong having a big team up adventure. I think Godzilla Kong, The New Empire is a movie whose goal is to purely entertain the audience with fun action scenes and cool characters. And I can commemorate it for that. Even with its flaws, I still give Godzilla Kong, The New Empire a 7.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching Reviewers Hub, and I'll see you next time.